you take, every fighter you meet, every record you beat, we will be following you. Every single jump, every trophy won, every wicket you break, every breakaway you make, every cross, every dribble, every dunk, every pit stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport. We will be watching you.
Studio.
Welcome
Thanks, Rob.
inside the locker room.
Hello, good morning, and thanks for tuning in to Smooth 98.1 FM Lagos. You're listening to Smooth Breakfast with Valentine, and time for us to join Tega. Yes, we're joining you, Tega.
Yes.
It's your day. It's the day Nigeria plays Iceland. It shows how they break the ice. Anyway, it's time for Locker Room. That's the show, and you can hit us up on Twitter. Locker Room 981. That's the hashtag on Twitter. Follow us at Smooth 91 FM Lagos. Information 0809 444 981. Let's go right to the stories now. The Timberwolves added some desperately needed wing depth on Monday night, on Thursday actually, Thursday night, selecting Josh Okogie with the number 20 pick in the NBA draft. So the 6'4" guard out of Georgia Tech provides a long perimeter defender who might be able to knock down the outside shot. Two things the Wolves desperately need. He said, I have the utmost confidence in myself. It's time to get it rolling. The fact that he plays both sides of the ball, he's a good young player that has a big upside. That W said in an interview. Great kid, he continues. So we're looking forward to having him.
Yes. And the reason why he made this my story, he Nigerian, and I'm not talking of Nigerian descent.
Yes.
I'm not talking of Nigerian name, no Nigerian anything.
Mm.
He's Nigerian, so he's a future the Tigers prospect.
Ah,
We have the opportunity to snatch him.
nice.
So my Sai Ujiri, you know what to do now.
So we can take him back.
Just take
Yeah.
a trip and visit him. But it was good to see Nigerians. We had a few other uh, young players with Nigerian descent in the draft, but most of them pulled out last minute and said, okay, we will come in maybe next year, not this year. He was the only one I think that made it to the draft and fully Nigerian. So let's see how this works out for the Tigers,
So that's
who
good.
at this particular point in time are already in the country, getting ready for the World Cup qualifiers.
All right. Nice one, nice one. And Nigeria is actually moving forward. That's good in that field. Now, Roger Federer is up in the news next. Roger Federer saved two match points to avoid an upset against France's Benoit Paire and reach the quarterfinals of the Hale Open. Now, Federer, who's the 20-time Grand Slam champion and world number one, was made to work hard by the world number 48 before winning 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, 9-7. He said in an interview that he granted, it says, I created quite a few opportunities, but maybe I was a bit tentative at times. Federer said this, and we know that his victory was his 18th in succession on grass. He continues in his words. He says, I was disappointed with my serve in the second set, being broken twice, and that is not allowed to happen. I need to clean that up.
And that for me, you see, the thing I like about Roger, he just does my work. Wakes up in the morning, plays his tennis match, then analyzes it for me.
Yeah, and criticizes himself.
I just
Yeah.
take it and go from there.
I do not do well. I need to do better.
But he was right. In the second, every time in the second, when Roger plays in second set, his first serve percentage always dips. But yesterday was worse. It was a horrible day. He wasn't having any. He wasn't getting any free points. It looked like he was having fun. It looked like that was the court was the last place to be. And what was most worrisome about it was that he was playing on grass. And so it's sometimes it's a little tough to swallow. He gets into this game, had a very good first set. Looked like everything was going according to plan. And then the second set, he lost it completely. He was broken twice. He just managed to break back once, and Benoit Paire and it looked like he was going to go on to win the match because he had several match points in the tiebreaker. game.
Whatever happened to Roger?
It's something with the second set that he, I think he kind of, if he when he wins the first, he kind of loses concentration. And that's hard to say about Roger Federer, but I've seen it happen one time too many. Wins the first set and then struggles with his first serve percentage in the second set. But yesterday, like I said, it was horrible. Some people said it was down to fatigue. I didn't think so because he still looked like he was ready to go. What I think it was is that when you play the first set, sometimes in the second set you want to mix things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So he was trying to add a little more spice and variety, and he kept struggling with it. Ultimately, he came out with that win, but I don't think he'd want to do that at Wimbledon, which is why he says I have to clean that up,
Yeah.
because he knows that if he came up against another player and he had that same struggle, he may be
It'll
out
play
of
back
Wimbledon.
against him.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you very much. Lagos, remember you can send a message to WhatsApp 0809 444 981. Use the hashtag on Twitter, LockerRoom981. We go to this next story now. Sebastian Vettel believes that Ferrari have plenty of reasons to be confident heading into the Formula One's first Grand Prix triple header, but admits that this week's to Paul Ricard is a step into the unknown for the grid. I do not see a reason why we should struggle, so we should be fine here. But to know exactly what to expect, I do not know, he admitted. It continues, says, it's a lot more difficult here to know what to expect because we've never been here properly. Same with all the teams at the same time on the same track layout because there's quite a lot here. So we'll see how we get going.
Yeah, this place used to. It was the Formula One. I mean, like before the organizer said, you know what, we have to shut down. We don't have money to handle it. It was 10 years ago. And so for them to get back on track on circuit this season, it's really interesting. Some of the drivers are saying we don't even know where to turn. Everywhere just looks alike, so they're not really familiar with it. But it'll be interesting to see how they'll maneuver it. The fact is, this weekend has been totally overtaken, of course, by the World Cup. I mean, even the drivers are talking about watching World Cup matches. They're not.
They're not even focused on their own game.
Focused on the F1. But it's a new circuit, and they're going to have to, because this is it's another race to win. So this is one of those places you have to put it in. They've come here mostly for testing. So a few drivers are familiar with the circuit because of the testing. But apart from that, it's still a struggle. So I want to see, first of all, how many times people are going to veer off course. That's it. I'm not even worried about tires. I'm not worried about new engines that Mercedes may not be using again this weekend. I'm just interested to see who veer off course. Like,
but why did they do their practice? I mean, I feel like they should have been used to the course already. They should have been used to the route.
I think. Look, I think they will have an idea of where to go. But somebody is still going to make a mistake. Because if a driver like Sebastian Vettel, who was actually here 10 years ago, who has used this place once or twice during testing, because everywhere just looks alike. That's Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion.
That is strange to hear.
What will Leclerc and the rest of them say?
They'll just be following him behind. Anywhere you go, we'll follow you, sir.
I think that's where the struggle for them will be. But ultimately, they should come out good. So he's still saying that regardless of what happens, Ferrari still has the advantage. They can be confident. And he's right. Any sort of poor showing by Mercedes again, then there will be problems. Mercedes had that crisis meeting last week. And so when they after that meeting, everybody was told, you know what, we have to sit up, from the engineers to the drivers. Every single person has had a problem so far, and so they've worked that out. So let's see if that translates into the driving. Although, I mean, Bottas looks focused, but I mean, Lewis Hamilton is talking about watching Three Lions before the race on Sunday. So we don't know what to be doing, whether it be sad from the whatever the result is. They play Panama, so I think they should win.
Right.
I don't know whether he'll be too excited and it will affect his, or it just doesn't matter. He just doesn't look like he's totally focused, because he's going to watch Three Lions. So let's see how it goes for him.
All right, so we'll be looking at more of these stories because we see messages on WhatsApp. I'll be taking that story next, which is about Nigeria's performance tonight in Iceland. Keep your messages coming into WhatsApp. The number is 0809 444 0981. You can also tweet at our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM on Twitter. The hashtag is LockerRoom981. Keep it here. Smooth Breakfast. We'll be back after this.
Hey, shit, boy. And you're tuned into Nigeria's #1 station, Smooth 98.1.
I am cool.
I know. Sorry.
You are beautiful, strong, dauntless, determined, extraordinary, intelligent,
I put my
innovative,
hands in my pocket.
talented,
What time is the match? 7.
unique,
Yep, tonight's match 4.
in
4.
comfort.
Oh boy.
Whoever,
4
wherever,
p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
whenever, we are here to enable you to
Oh, it's
be
8.
you. Stanbic
Huh?
I thought it's
IBTC,
8.
moving
No, 4.
forward.
There's no match at the 1 that starts at
As
8.
the sun gets hotter, you're longing for an air conditioner. Worry not about your electricity bills. No. Enjoy the cool breeze whenever you want. We are with you out in gentle air conditioner. It brings you cool breeze on a hot day. It brings you exciting feeling.
I've been singing songs and I've not been there. Which one is
LG
Olamide and
Genco air
Whiskey?
conditioner is energy saving and cost effective
Kana.
with a 10-year
Kana.
warranty
Okay, they've
on
been
its
Kana.
compressor.
Now there's
Switch
Kana.
to its
Mhm.
gen mode function. The small generator
It's actually new,
to
you know.
enjoy a constant
Interesting.
cooling experience. LG,
Life's
life's
good.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
So you come back with a few messages.
Yes.
I already have
Okay,
some.
read them before taking story.
Mm.
Okay.
Because you already have some. Look target Nigerians.
Yes.
So the first one is don't worry.
And great music.
Knows me
I
knows that
don't
I'm
know.
very
I don't
particular
know.
about the things that I love.
I love music, I love life, and of course, I love
You're my therapist.
We are your love music, love life radio station at Smooth 98.1. You're listening to Sports Inside of the Locker Room with Tega Supreme, Lagos. You can send a message to WhatsApp 0809 444 981. Use the hashtag LockerRoom981 on Twitter. Now, this message is here in from Ugo. Ugo says, "Good morning, Smooth FM team. I do not know if it's only me, but my heart is telling me that Mr. Pig is right. He picked Argentina and Nigeria, who are going home. But again, what do I know? Might just be my mind playing tricks on me." Ugo, thank you very much. We see a message, which actually links us to the next story. So, Super Eagles captain John Obi Mikel said that the team is focused on getting a good result when they face Iceland this afternoon, 4 p.m. Guys, 4 p.m. In his words, John Mikel Obi says, "We are focused. We are ready. We want to win." That's what your Nigerian captain said. He continues, "We know that we need a victory against Iceland to stay in the tournament, and we're going to do everything in training to make that happen." Do we believe him?
I like what he says. They're doing everything in training. They've had their crisis meetings. They've spoken with each other. The coach has decided as a grade that he's going to make 1 or 2 changes, or so we're hearing. But ultimately, it comes down to what you can do on the field of play.
Yeah.
Because if you practice your set pieces, if you practice your ball movement, and you come on the pitch and see another thing, I don't know how it's going to come out. But
as a t-shirt, Jesse.
yeah, but we have to believe them that they're doing the best they can. There is a charge right now in camp, and I know a lot of people are saying results look like they've given Nigeria away in, but I said it from the start of the group. Croatia, Iceland are more likely to go through than Nigeria, Argentina.
Wow.
Let's not even deceive ourselves. But if Nigeria can get a result today, then they would have something to fight for against Argentina. And Iceland, Croatia right now cities have already qualified. 3 points from their 2 games, so they may rest their big star when it comes to playing against Iceland, and then who knows what will happen. So this is an opportunity. Let me put it. This is slightly open door. We can,
Where you can peep through and see what it looks like on the other side.
And so know what you're fighting for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a slightly open door. It's not like it's a huge opportunity. Nigeria just has to step up to the plate and try to get a result against Iceland. It's going to be tough. Iceland is one of the tallest teams in the tournament, which means that aerially, when it comes to set pieces, they would have an advantage over us.
Over us is a key word.
Yeah, over us. They're also very solid defensively, and for Nigeria, that hasn't created a lot of chances.
Yeah.
That could be a struggle against that kind of side. There's nothing going through the middle. Well, if you ask me, based on their game, I've seen at 2016 Euros and against Argentina, it's hard to get anything through the middle of Iceland, so you have to go through the wings. And Victor Moses has not been really impressing me. And the other wing,
I hope it doesn't fall today.
Has nobody to even say we can run at them. So it looks dire. If you look at it tactically, it looks like a very hard task, and that's what it is. So I hope they know that, and then they're prepared. But what it is, if you ask me, the way the table is today, this morning, that is how I think the table will end.
I'm just glad we've gone beyond the revelry of t-shirts. I'm still calling t-shirts. It's a jersey. Yeah, but they've been posing with it since. So messages. We'll take one and then we go back to the story. Zizi Classic says, this year's World Cup is something else. It's just unpredictable. Now only God knows the country where we know. I guess it's Nigeria, Sha. Anything can happen. I feel pity for Messi. Moving on now, Argentina coach George Sampaoli said his tactics are to blame for Lionel Messi's poor form at the 2018 World Cup. He said, I think Cristiano is a great player. You can look at all he's achieved as a player with his club and his country. Right now, we shouldn't compare these two players. I think because of the reality of the Argentinian squad, it clouds Leo's brilliance. Leo is limited because the team does not get ideally with him as it should. As coaches, we need to realize these things and try to deal with them, and I'm the one that needs to accept it.
I'm glad you know who is at fault.
Finally.
I said this from the qualifiers. I said people keep saying Argentina. People are just believing names. I looked at that team. There is no team there. There is 4 fantastic forwards and the rest. There's no team there. And so when you have no midfield and you have no defense, and I know some people are going to say, but Otamendi, Marcos Rojo, those people on their best day, like the day they played well, like the day they gymed, they prayed and fasted, on their best day, they're average. And Mascherano, he was a good player two seasons ago. He's not a good player now, so don't even call those names. So they really have nothing behind. And then there's another confusion. Where is Messi really playing? Is he going to be helping the attack to provide? Is he going to be the attack that they are going to provide for? And if he's going to be the attack that they're going to provide for, who is going to be providing for him? Yeah. Why is Dybala not playing in that
Why are they putting so much pressure on Messi?
Why did Messi start yesterday? And when Messi did not do what he was going to do, because I expected him to be, I can't say this on air. I expected him to be exactly the way he was.
So know that.
Which was poor.
Check at Tega Supreme on Twitter.
which was poor.
Yes.
Why didn't you bring Angel Di Maria in? Why didn't you bring Higuain? Why didn't you play 4-4 to bring him? So there are lots of things that Sampaoli got wrong. On the other hand, there's also a lot of things that Messi didn't do. And Messi, and again, it's down to his personality. I put it this way. If Cristiano Ronaldo's team were struggling, this is what Cristiano Ronaldo would do outside the coach.
Yes.
He would tell the boys, okay, you know what? I don't care what you do outside the 18-yard box, but in that final third, give me the ball.
Right.
Whatever you do, once you get that ball, in that final third, let me have the ball and I will do something. That's a Cristiano Ronaldo. He will tell you, give me this ball in this final third, and he will deliver in the final third. So he knows his potent position is in and around that 18-yard box. So what he will do is tell his team to give him. Lionel Messi will not give any instruction. Lionel Messi will not do anything. Lionel Messi will just continue playing till the game is over. Wow. Then he'll go to the locker room and they'll argue and they'll say this person didn't do this. That's the difference. But Lionel Messi's personality is not assertive. Unlike Cristiano Ronaldo, if he doesn't like what he sees,
he will say it.
He will say it. Do you understand? So that's where the difference is. So yes, Sampaoli has a huge portion of the blame because even after their qualifiers, he should have found he knew where their deficiencies were. He should have found replacements from their league, and they have good replacements there. But also Lionel Messi as a player needs to impose himself a little, and that will be asking him to change his personality. So I don't know why
but he needs to try. He needs to push
I've said
his personality forward.
There's some things I don't expect from Messi. If Messi scored a hat trick the day before Cristiano Ronaldo plays, Cristiano Ronaldo will score 4 goals the next day. That's what he'll strive to do. Cristiano Ronaldo does the same thing. Messi will just be looking at you. It's like no ambition.
I know it's not about no ambition. The guy's getting old, baby.
Which old? He's just 30.
All right, we'll take more messages here. On Twitter, we'll have this one from Nathan Njoku. It says, so I heard Gernot Raw in the pre-match interview saying emphatically, we will not lose. Shebina today, we will soon see.
What I didn't like is he said we will not lose, but he didn't say we will win.
So it could be a draw. Shay says Argentina was scattered, shattered, and battered like their coach scattered tattoo. Tega today, Lenny, we must wound Iceland 3-1. That's what he says. Valentine, if their coach is a dentist, then Gernot Raw should turn to chisel and remove like 30 from his 32 teeth. Abba, kilo day. Really? All right, we have this next one from Dongwan in Festac. It says, I think we can finally lay to rest this Messi versus Ronaldo comparison. Messi is at his best when he plays for Barcelona FC colors. Anything aside that, now Wimpin B. Gold score, Shipney. Wow.
Dongwan, I think that's very disrespectful.
I'm telling you,
and I will not read that next time, but...
Yeah. Tunde says, for me, the Super Eagles need no motivational talk from anybody whatsoever again. Croatia has done the motivation for them already. What greater motivation could they have asked for? Tunde, thank you. Dio from Bagada says, my GOAT has called all the goals for his country at the World Cup. Who's your GOAT? And what has he done? Cristiano Ronaldo is the GOAT. Let me give you a clue. He'll sing Just Hold On, We're Going Home by Draco. Really? Nice. Thank you very much, guys. Keep the messages coming in. The number is 0809 981. The next story, Didier Deschamps has hailed Kylian Mbappe after his match-winning goal saw France into the last 16 of the World Cup with a 1-0 victory against Peru on Thursday. He's got great qualities and he was able to show his pace today. I do not think he sacrificed himself by defending. He just did what his team needed him to do. I'm very happy with his performance today. That's what Deschamps told the news conference.
I agree. He did what his team needed. Sometimes strikers will have to do that. And you still have Griezmann up front that can take the ball and run with it. So he did what he needed to do. First and foremost, he got that goal and that he needed to score. So he's not the youngest ever goal scorer from France at the World Cup. Fantastic one. But they were under pressure. Peru kept playing at them. And I don't think France is one of the strongest teams to win the World Cup. I expected them to come out of their group easily. But I don't think that going further down, maybe to knockout stages or quarterfinals, they're my favorites to win the tournament. They're not. And it showed yesterday with the kind of pressure that they from Peru yesterday. They survived it. And so sometimes, there are games you play that you don't get the results you desire. But they played against Australia. I saw their performance against Australia and I saw their performance against Peru, and it's still unconvincing. You want to see the second game and know that, yes, this team can do something. I haven't said that from France. But ultimately, players needed to do what they needed to do. And I think Mbappe becoming a defender for most of the game yesterday was necessary at the point in time, which is why some coaches will pick you. You can track back, you can work hard, you can dig deep. You're not just a one-dimensional player. Coaches will pick you every time. So on that note, I think he's played well for France. But let's see France going further. In this group, I don't think they have much challenges, which is why they have their 6 points, which is why they are through to the next round. But I want to see them in the knockout stages. How strong are they? I'm not convinced yet.
Okay, so you can watch the behind the mic action, really, on youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. And we have messages up there on YouTube. Adejuwon Sahid says, Messi is playing everything, even 3. In fact, Messi is the keeper. Adejuwon continues and says, I feel bad for Messi, though. Thank you very much, Adejuwon. We'll be back after this short break.
And you're listening to
I actually wanted to say Mesa is Ahmed Musa.
Oh, okay.
He can run! Ah, you will not cross the ball well. Useless.
My gosh, messages.
Ah!
Let's see.
Just wait. Just leave it. Don't touch anyone because we'll touch it.
Okay.
Go to your neighborhood supermarket.
Just touch the ones that are showing green.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Sachets and get an extra sachet free. 3. Scratch the card you find within the pouch, and you could be a winner. Progress is 3 steps away.
Excuse me.
Get started with Nescafe.
You are beautiful, strong, dauntless, determined, extraordinary, intelligent, innovative, talented, unique, aging in comfort. Whoever, wherever, whenever, we are here to enable you to be you. Stanbic IBTC, moving forward.
Mom.
Mommy, what does conflict mean? Conflict? It means, look, eat your breakfast and stop talking with your mouth full.
Whole flaked is the natural process of making cornflakes just like Nasco does, with only fresh yellow sun-ripe corn that is flaked whole to retain all the natural goodness. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Don't you wish your family was happy like
Not
mine?
really.
Don't you wish your family was fit like mine? Don't you?
We come back to the messages of the last story.
Here's to you for going extra miles
Neymar
for your
for
family
Brazil.
in your own way.
Yeah, they're
As
playing
we
TV.
celebrate
Yeah.
our 30th
Okay.
anniversary, 3 Crowns low cholesterol
Yeah,
milk will
that's
always help keep you fit,
That was
so your
1
family
o'clock.
can stay happy. 3 Crowns milk is endorsed by the Nigerian Heart Foundation.
No.
3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Sorry.
Keeping you
So no need, huh?
some fun
Okay.
to share in your office or on the road with great music to ease
Studio.
off the stress. Call it the soundtrack.
Here on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life, love life.
We'll keep you company 24/7. It's here. Talking sports inside of the locker room is a part of Smooth Breakfast here on Smooth 98.1. And you're listening to the voices of Valentine and Tega Supreme on Twitter. Lagos, send your messages to 0809 444 981. We've got a lot of them to go through. The first one is from no name. Please include your name in your messages. PC here sent this one to us. It said, as Seb5 saying, everywhere looks the same. Make me hear what? Then no get that track for simulator. That's the same question I asked earlier. Muyiwa says, this is away from the Argentina game. Please, please, please. They should stop lumping Africa everywhere. First African goal, first African win. When Russia scored, I did not hear first European win, or when Japan first Asian win. No, nobody said that.
First Asian
Oh, they did. Okay. So every team and country for himself. No wonder they think Africa is a country. We must stop encouraging them too, because I've heard Tega mention that as well. Really? I find it.
Muiwa is not condescending. I've said it before. At this tournament, South America, Africa, they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you like it or not, it's a continent. They come from one confederation. So at the end of the day, it's how it's a confederation doing. So it also answers the question of why are there 14 teams from Europe, 5 from Africa?
I know.
All this add to that. So you can think it's condescending, but ultimately it is what it is.
JJ from Moshi says, good morning, Tega and Val. Please tell Mikel not only to focus, they should leave their intestine on that pitch. If they do not win, Nigerians will not be merciful. I'm just saying my own. All the ball rolling they were doing with Croatia will not work. It's one thing to lose a match and still entertain the fans, but they're not even entertaining us at all. So that's actually a valid point. This one is from Kelvin. Kelvin sent this one from Ikeja. If Iceland beats Nigeria today, then Argentina and Nigeria will head home, as Croatia and Iceland will play an accord game in their last game. The ball is in Super Eagles' court to make or mar their chances. Nigeria nil, Iceland nil. That's a prediction. All right. Mr. Lava says Croatia has done us a great favor. The ball is now in our court.
Okay.
If Super Eagles can't beat Iceland tomorrow, they should forget about the third match, and start coming home. MI from Akoka said, Chai, Messi though, you feel sad for the guy. He was dragged yesterday, and I honestly felt for him. Inevitable inevitably, the Cristiano Ronaldo comparison will always pop up. If the Super Eagles know what is good for them, they had better win because we now have a fighting chance to qualify at Argentina's expense. The next message here says, Tega, what you said about Cristiano Ronaldo asking for the ball is what makes him better than Messi, in my opinion. Max.
That's your opinion. I think his personality changed. I don't think that because I'm an extrovert and some people are quiet, I'm better than them. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. That doesn't apply. That's not a yardstick. Charles Chidos here said this what it says. Ghana fans call the Super Eagles Super Chickens, and ever since their football haven't remained the same. Mark Rano said that we're disorganized. Now his team is playing in a World Cup they wish they did not qualify for. Moral lesson: leave Nigerians to deal with their problems themselves. I think it makes a point there. Take last two messages here on Twitter. Nathan Njoku says Argentina is like no, don't say those things. 8 World Wonders, and this one it says yes, we can blame Messi for this and that, but what if he has been frustrated by his teammates and the coach? Remember, he retired some time ago. Those other players lack the determination and passion to play for their country. Thank God Guardiola sold that Caballero. Wow, that's all, folks. We'll have to go. We're done on the locker room for today. Make sure you catch the previous episodes plus today's episodes if you missed the beginning point of this show, and all the episodes you've missed so far. Just check out YouTube, type in the search box Smooth 91 FM Lagos. Catch Tega up on Twitter at Tega Supreme, or follow everything about sports and women's sports and women, all the news really regarding that at LIS International. All right, Lagos. Coming up next at the top of the hour for a Feel Good Friday, we get to talk. It's going to be Lagos Talks 91 next.
No, argument is settled.
Thank you.